What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another full self-driving beta video. My name is Chris, and today we're going to see if the latest update 11.4.6 can drive me all the way home. We're in downtown Ann Arbor, and I expect the beginning of this drive to be a little crazy with some downtown rush hour traffic. Most of the drive is going to be on the highway. It's probably going to be like an hour of driving, if not more than that. And then at the end, we'll have a little more rural and more traffic again, off highway, some dirt roads to finish it up. And we're going to see if the car can take me A to B with zero interventions, meaning I do nothing, or zero disengagements, meaning I don't, maybe I change the speed or something, but I don't actually take over steering. Now, chance of success here, I don't know, 20% in my opinion. But we're going 34 miles, about an hour it'll take us. So there's a lot of times that this could go wrong. Now, we should be moving before this person to the left. I don't know why the car waited so long, but it did, and they waited for us, and now we're moving forward. As they stare at me. So, like I said, I'll let the car handle as much of this as possible. That's safe. Highway, there's some weird stuff I'll show you, and on the way there, I'll point out any errors or anything, but, you know, hopefully the car can do pretty well. So I just finished my downtown drive. If you haven't seen that one, it's linked above, so make sure you check that out, somewhere up there. Car did okay, had a couple mistakes that I was a little disappointed to see, but we're not at a perfect robotaxi yet, so you know that's what you get when you sign up for beta software. So we have some vehicles to the left here. Unfortunately, I don't have the roof cam. I don't like to use it so much on the highway. Sometimes I do if I can secure it with an extra thing, but I don't have that with me. But the car did a beautiful job of waiting for those vehicles to the left and proceeding. Wow, so we are stopping for this guy. I don't know why he waited so long. Okay, I need to plant something really crazy out there. So obviously those flashing things, I'm sure if you've never been here, you've never seen that in your life, you could look at that and say, oh, they're blinking, I should stop for the pedestrian. That's not something that I thought was supported on beta. And as I saw it flashing, I put my foot over the brake to get ready. And the car started braking. I mean, I wasn't going to brake yet because I wanted to see what the car was going to do. But the car started braking right as I hovered my foot over that. Now, did they have support for those blinking things? I doubt it. I didn't really look at the pedestrian to see how his movement was. But wow, that was very, very, very impressive. So moving into this left turn lane, also very impressive. I didn't exactly know where this left turn was. I don't usually come from this way, so it's kind of new for me. And we're stopping kind of far back. Not as impressive, but not a big deal. And I bet as soon as this car moves, you can see we're already moving forward. It keeps the steering wheel straight, which is a safe thing to do while you're waiting to make the left turn, and then turns the wheel as it makes the turn. Beautiful. Feels really good. That feels really natural. And what I like about a drive like this versus the drive I just did where I'm changing routes all over the place, this is a real drive. Like, I actually have to go here. I actually have to go home. I'm not going to be screwing up the nav. Look at it, move up to the stop sign, check again to make sure nobody's coming, and then move through. My goodness, that feels so good and natural and safe. That's crazy. So when I do these A to B drives, they're not always as exciting as when I'm like changing routes and finding the craziest, you know, stuff all over the place. But this is much more a real world example of how the car operates and how well or how bad it does versus me kind of screwing with it and poking it. Not that that's not valuable, but this kind of gives you a better sense of like real performance in real scenarios. So right turn, we made our stop. We start turning immediately. Very good. Wait for that guy. Oh my goodness, the slowdown was so good. It's like that guy turned in front of us. I actually don't fault him. I don't think he did anything, you know, too bad there. Can we turn left here? It doesn't say no left turns. I don't fault him for that. It was just a little close, and I would say the human and the car both handled that very well. Wow, pretty impressive so far. So no, what? Okay. That's what I get for saying pretty impressive so far. So yeah, it can't tell that this light is, look at it on the display, trying to run red light. It keeps thinking this light is turning green. Now I'll admit it's very faint, but I as a human can tell that it's still red. Barely. Yeah, so it wants to just go through here. Trying to run red light. So I'll need to wait until this light turns green until I engage it again. So there you go, there's one disengagement. How disappointing. Right in the beginning of the drive, as I say how nice the drive is so far. But you know what, that's what you get. Beta does do that sometimes, and that's why you gotta pay attention. So it turned green, very obvious it turned green. And now it will wait for the cross traffic as it should. Again, see how the steering wheel is mostly staying straight? It's just tilted a little bit as it's getting ready to turn. In the past, it would sit here and turn it all the way. And viewers correctly pointed out that that's dangerous because if someone rear ends you, it's going to send you into traffic. Well, now the car's much better about that. So at least the left turn felt good, but yeah, pretty disappointing, you know, when beta is this far along to see it doesn't use a red light correctly. Like, come on. Now again, like I said, it was extremely faint. At the same time, I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just saying that's probably why that was happening. Yeah, so you definitely can't do that. So I'm just going to take over there. You can see that the road ahead is closed for construction or whatever, and the nav wants to go through that closed road. Closed road also randomly changing into left turn lane. And what normally would happen is if the road was fully closed up there, the car would kind of figure that out and turn right. But because only part of it, only a little section right there has the road closed sign, the car will just drive around that. That's all it's going to do. So just so you know, that's why I have to take over here. So another disengagement right in the beginning of our very, very long drive. All right, so we got the green. I have to get us going here, unfortunately, because you can see the tentacle still wants to go into that closed road. So that's all it's going to do. There you can see how a human interacts with pedestrians crossing the street. And then as soon as we get here, I'll turn it back on, it'll reroute, and I'll let it take over from here. Okay, so I'm not actually going to let it do this. I don't know why it wants to go that way, but that's another disengagement. There we go. So part of it was that it hadn't rerouted. I don't even know what to report for that. Who cares? Part of it was that it hadn't rerouted. So, but I don't know why. I don't know. That was interesting. I mean, you can drive there technically, but only one car fits there and somebody pulled out of there. I don't know. That's very strange. All right, can we make it through? Please, dear Lord. Yes, just do it. Awesome. I am so glad I don't work downtown. Oh my goodness. Now, this is not a good place to stop. Okay, traffic's moving up a little bit. Yeah, I am totally in the way. So now I gotta back up. They left me room to back up. Oh my goodness. I am really glad that I don't work downtown because what the heck? I'm like, I feel like I'm trapped down here. Like there's nothing I can do. So again, I wanted to report that. That was beta's fault. I mean, don't let me give it any excuses. If I was here and I saw that, I wouldn't move into the intersection because obviously there isn't room and I'm not going to stop in the intersection. So we'll turn it back on here. I think it sees the red. Yeah, it does. And we'll let it try it again. But wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. I don't like rush hour downtown. This is no fun. So the car like still wants to go even though it's red. It's displaying it, the signals as red and everything. Now this time we have to, because if you don't take this, you'll literally never make it. So that guy's moving up a little bit for us. Okay, I like this positioning. I feel like it's a mistake, but I'll take it. That's actually pretty nice. That's a lot of disengagement so far. So it's not ready for downtown rush hour. That's for sure. Wow, that's crazy. So literally one car, I was the only car that got through on that light cycle. That's really bad. That is like so terribly bad, but whatever, that's what you get. So we made it. Lots of mistakes getting through there. Had to disengage, but oh well, that's how it goes. This is the system as of today. All right, so we got another green. Let's see if we can make it through here. And I like it. We got to move. Whoa, a huge boost of acceleration. The car's like, hey, I can move. Let's freaking go. Oh, man, that was actually really good. So it did make it through there, waited for pedestrians. And then people are honking at each other, but they can't move. I mean, the honking's not going to help. There's not much you can do. So, wow, this is crazy. Look at my energy consumption, too. That's well over double, 737 watt hours per mile. Well over double the rated energy consumption for this vehicle. So that's pretty, because we're not moving, but we're using the air and stuff. All right, that was insane. Now the car's doing something really bad here because we need to get on the highway and that's why all those people are there going slow. So it's just gonna like cut them off. So we'll see if it can handle that. If not, then we'll have to emergency vehicle over there. Still don't have support for those, as you can see. Actually, this is not bad at all. It actually did fine here. So, oh, you should have gotten that little gap. No, don't. No. Okay, yeah, this guy's cut me off. Thank you. Thank you for cutting me off. Because then I don't have to intervene. That guy's like, nope, you're not passing me. So actually the car handled that really well and saved us a lot of time with that maneuver. Not something I probably would have done. But anyway, that was insane downtown. Now we're getting on the highway. Holy crap. Insane here too. We'll see how the car does with merging and etc. So this is where it's probably going to screw up again because it's going to try to go straight when this opens up. Let's hope it doesn't do that. Yeah, see how it's just like... Oh, actually? Are you going to do it? Come on. Oh, okay, I'm in the brake. I'm not like going to let it do this stupid stuff. Cutting off traffic. Now, some of you are probably going to argue with me, but I just want to like... I've had enough at this point. You obviously... It may have moved over and everything, but I don't know. I just wasn't comfortable with that. So we're on the highway. Unfortunately, I had to merge for it. And we'll see how it does going forward. I'll try not to make this video too long, but it's going to be a long one. All right, so we did get a change lanes to follow route back there. We're sliding over this side, which is the right thing to do. I think you can be in either lane, but we are correctly moving on to the next highway. This is US 23. This has the flex lane. It has the signs above it, blah, blah, blah. So we'll see how the car handles this. I speed on this road every single day. I go 5 to 10 miles per hour over the speed limit, and I still regularly get passed. But for all of you, I will leave the speed limit as is. That's what everybody requests me to do. It's a little cringe for me, to be honest, but for this video, I will leave it alone and let it go the speed limit. Now, if it chooses the wrong speed limit, I'm not going to allow that. I may have to intervene for incorrect speed limit, which it may do, it may not. So let's see how it handles this. We're merging on. You can just go straight to stay in this lane, or you can change to the right, which it's doing, changing lanes to follow route, and it cancels because somebody must be on our way. We're up to 70, and we're definitely going to need to get out of this lane. You can see people flying by us. Yeah, see right there? It changed its max speed to 50, so I can't allow that. I don't know why it does that, so that's an intervention. And I'm just going to move it out of this lane because I can't even get out of the freaking lane because people are going so fast. Like 83. I have to go 83 to get out of this lane. And it thinks the speed limit's 50. Like, why? This has been going on for so long. Wrong speed limit. And I've been reporting it for months. These signs up here confuse it, but sometimes I notice it'll change even without those signs. All right, this video is gonna be so long. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna set it to 70. That's the real speed limit. Ignore the signs. The real speed limit's 70. We'll let the car do its thing. So there you go. That's what happens when I go the speed limit. Everybody leaves me in the dust. Even the semis are passing me. I would be in the right lane if I was going this slow, but for whatever reason, the car doesn't like to be in the right lane. I guess it probably helps with interventions related to people merging on or whatever. Okay, just get sparkled, get sprayed there. But the car likes to sit in the middle. It's not wrong technically, but if I'm going this slow compared to the rest of traffic, which is not really a thing the car can think about as of now, for the most part, I wouldn't be sitting in the middle. So that's just kind of my thought on that. You can have your own opinion. just sharing kind of my experience sitting here in the driver's seat. All right, I got to do a quick voiceover for you here at this part because live, as I was driving, I didn't really realize what was happening. But what we're seeing here is a brand new ability of Full Self-Driving Beta 11.4.6 called Maintaining Speed for Traffic Flow. Now, my car thinks that the speed limit dropped from 70 to 60, which it did not, but it doesn't really matter. At the time the car thought the speed limit dropped, it sees that the traffic around us has not slowed down that much. So what it's doing is it's essentially holding its speed higher. Even though the speed limit is 60 miles per hour, it has set its max speed to 69 miles per hour. Now I have no offsets set on my full self-driving beta. I have a plus 0% offset. So when I use full self-driving beta, it always goes the speed limit, but with this brand new ability, the car can actually speed to keep up with the traffic around it. Now I imagine this ability is going to be a bit controversial, but in this case and in my scenarios, I actually love this. Even though the speed limit is 70, when I'm driving normally, if I go 75 or 80 miles per hour, I am still regularly passed by other traffic. I realize that's illegal. I realize that just because everyone is speeding doesn't make it okay, but it can be more dangerous for you to be going slow when all the other traffic is going fast, and sometimes you just have to keep up with the flow of traffic as the car is doing here. Now, a couple improvements for this, in my opinion. Number one, I think this should be a toggle. I think you should be able to turn this ability off in the settings if you would like. Number two, personally, I think you should be able to set a max traffic flow speed. So say I want the car to travel at 70 miles per hour, but I'm okay going 80 miles per hour for short stretches of a drive to either keep up with traffic or pass somebody. I should be able to put in the car, my absolute speed is 80, but I would like to travel around 70, and then the car can work with those numbers and pick the speed it thinks is best. Overall, this is a great addition that makes the car drive more human-like, and I think adds to safety in a big way. Oh, again, the speed limit is 70, not 60, so I'm going to intervene. I'm going to set it to the actual speed limit. I don't know why it's changing to 60 and 50 and doing all this stuff, but that's not the actual speed limit. It is 70. So we're getting a change out of passing lane. I like to see that. When you have people behind you, it will do that. I am on the average setting pretty much always. If nobody's behind you and it's in the passing lane, it'll just hang out there, just so you know. So now here, speed limit is 60 because it's a construction zone. The car does set the max to 60. I'm gonna adjust that. That is not an intervention. It stayed at 70 because that's where I told it to go. So holding down the stalk or clicking on the speed will set you back to the default, and so now the car will change its own speed again. So now we're gonna get to experience some stop and go rush hour traffic here, which I get asked about a lot. The car, in my experience, handles it pretty well. Sometimes you get a little jerky stopping or going, but for the most part, it's very nice. So there you go, slowing down a little bit for no reason. The worst part about it is, now this is all based on your kind of personality. For me, like, look at the traffic. Why am I going to change lanes? I just don't care. Like, we're going to get there. Everybody's going super slow. There's nothing you can do about it. Other people want to weave in between the cars, trying to get around everybody, whatever. I'm not saying either way is good or bad or whatever. I'm just saying. The car tends to be more on the side of, oh, this lane's going slow, I'm moving into the passing lane. I get it, but sometimes it can cause more problems than it needs to. So just pointing that out. So we may see the car try to do that. Is this guy going to like run into him? Holy crap. And minivan's like not stopping. All right, so we did get a double beep there, just the car kind of saying, hey, I see some construction cones, please, give me a hand here, make sure you're paying attention. But we did make it through that full construction zone with no problem. So that was actually very good, very smooth. We're finally on a long stretch here where the car's doing a great job and not needing intervention. Of course, highway is much easier. And this is still where autopilot and full self-driving really shine. It's very good at highways. And I shouldn't have said that because now it's just going to go flying off into a ditch. No, I'm just kidding. But it is much better at highways than it is at the downtown driving still. And when you get all these miles in, man, it's just so much more comfortable to do it this way versus having to drive manually. So I don't think the 60 mile per hour ended yet, but you can see the humans like to speed up. That's spooky. That guy's driving out. Beta doesn't seem to mind. And changing lanes into faster lane, I like that, but you're not going to do it. So it canceled that, and it is handling these merging cars fine. Everybody's got room, so very good. It made it through all of there very nicely. Whoa, holy F. Did you see that? Wow, that was almost really bad. And look, he gets nowhere. You're literally hitting your brake because you can't get anywhere. Oh my goodness, another double beep for the pay attention hand. All right, now as we approach this pickup, I would guess before we even pass it, we're gonna get a turn signal that says changing out of passing lane. So right about now actually, there you go. Changing out of passing lane because there's somebody behind us, and I love this update. It is showing the person behind us that we're gonna get out of the passing lane as soon as we can. Before it even finishes passing that final car that we're passing, puts turn signal on. That is such a nice improvement. Great job on that one. All right, and here's our exit. We got the turn signal on, choosing right fork to stay on route. I don't really like the way that's phrased, but oh well, I guess that's how we say it now. And a nice exit of the highway. So we got a couple of right turns coming up here, right turn lanes, I mean, and the car does something dumb sometimes. So you can see as we pick our right turn lane, it doesn't really matter which one, it's a solid line. So no more changing lanes. Well, almost every time the car picks this lane and then changes to the left one. Why? Like, I report this all the time as well. Like, you can't change over solid lines. It's just a stupid, like, just stay to the left if that's what you're going to do. I don't know. It's just stupid. So you can turn red on red here, which I'm surprised by because cross traffic's coming at, 60 plus miles an hour. There's like 3 lanes. It's really crazy. But the car usually handles this okay. Lane selection's a little weird only because human lane selection up here is also like really bad. It's just like people pick whatever lane they want. There's really no rule as to which lane you can pick. So go up here, and I would continue. So now we cannot. I don't know what they're honking at. I have a red light, and traffic is coming from the left. Maybe they didn't see that. So we get the green, and we move forward. I'm kind of happy. Okay, this is the correct lane, the one I would pick. I'm happy we waited till it was green only because of that honk. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm just like that, okay? I'm human too. Oh, there's some nice lane drift for you. It did correct it. But yeah, lane drift not fixed. I mean, that was better than what it used to do. So we'll see if coming up here, we have the lane drift problem where it would just kind of randomly move into these lanes even though we don't need to do that. So this is another tough one. You can see speed limit's 55 here. I always set it to 60 and so changing lanes to follow route is wrong technically, but whatever, because we're making a left turn. There have been times going 65 on this road, I'm getting passed. It's just another thing, like the robot doesn't care, but it does interrupt traffic flow. Not that the humans are right, but sometimes you just got to fit in. So just pointing that out. All right, so here's another issue we're probably going to run into. You need to change lanes, like right now. Like, what are you waiting for? So we are so lucky the people behind us didn't try to pass us. And like, this is our turning thing. So it waited way too long to make that lane change. And a lot of times I'll find if I try to use beta in this spot, there's too many people in that left lane and I just can't make the lane change, or beta can't anyway. So this is absolutely terrible. Please move ahead. So I'm going to push the accelerator here as that guy stares at me. So there's another intervention for you. And this is another spot. So this is high speed cross traffic. This is 60 plus miles per hour. And you're just going to, oh my gosh. So I'm going to step on it. So it barely inches out and creeps, but people are coming at you at 60 or 65 miles an hour. And it's like, yeah, we're just kind of barely in the road. I need to make like a whole video series just about that left turn, just like Chuck did, because it's so bad and it has not, there's times where it does it correctly, don't get me wrong, but it accelerates so timidly and slowly across that high-speed cross-traffic scenario. It's just stupid and not safe. And maybe I need to make my whole video series just about that one turn, because, yeah, it's not ever done it, I would say, appropriately. It's done it correctly. It's been able to do it itself before, but never correctly and where it needs to really take off. All right, so that whole stretch of road handled perfectly. Might not seem like much, but in the past, that road would have phantom braking all over the place. So we have a right turn here, and you'll notice, yep, stop a little. Okay, hard stop for no reason. I mean, not no reason, because it saw that thing and got scared. That golf cart. I'm saying it a little late, but you'll notice that it turns the turn signal on well after the car is slowing down. And you should put your turn signal on before you slow down. Now, legally, that's not the way to do it, but just to communicate with the people around you, I don't want to go from 55 to 40 and then turn my turn signal on. It makes no sense. Turn your turn signal on and then begin slowing down. Just something I've been ranting about. So, limiting max speed for road type, that's something we've seen for dirt roads before. I'm going to call it there. I've been talking for almost 2 hours now. My voice is starting to go, I can tell. But overall, there's the stats. 33 miles that we have on here, and several interventions and disengagements. The highway was very nice. I just had to change speed a few times. I don't think I had any disengagements on highway. And then, of course, the ones downtown where it was kind of screwing up. But overall, this is like a pretty realistic use case of full self-driving beta and kind of my daily experience that I get. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope the video wasn't too long. I look forward to talking to you down in the comments, and you will see me in full self-driving beta in the next video.